Really happy.
Okay, so let's have a new start, Dave. I don't think we...
No, I know what I said.
Okay, so hello everyone on Facebook. You can hear Dave clearly. That's great. Okay, Dave, so let's give it a new start. Let's do it the other way around. We're going to first look into the importance of building muscle. Why do you want to build muscles? So, for instance, a lot of women, as you and I know, we always think that, oh, I'm a female. I don't want to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Women are under this assumption that they are able and capable to easily build up a lot of muscle. They don't know how hard it is and how much be able to build muscles. So let's start by saying, why do we want to build muscle? Or why is it crucial for us to build muscle? So what's your input on that?
Okay. Well, you're an expert on this, but just to make everything clear, even if you don't build muscle, moving this finger up and down is done by your muscles. Even me talking, our body is built out of tissues, muscle tissues, and cells that they create tissues. And what they do, these cells communicate to each other and actually build whoever you are. Everything in your body is connected to everything else. Every cell of your body is communicating with every other cell of your body. So we got the whole system of your mechanical system of your body. If you say brain, we don't have a brain, we just talk about the muscles, which your brain, you still got muscles in your brain. We're talking about a whole system that communicates together, just like a society that we've got now. We've got a plumber, we got a teacher, you got that thief that steals things of people, and you got a police that stops that thief from doing that. So we are a whole system. Like imagine every single one of us is a universe inside ourselves. So it's a whole city. I don't know how to put it. It's a whole country. It's a government body. It's a body of government. How do you think governments or all of these are formed? These are all based on what we are inside ourselves, and we are a governing body. And how does this body work? How does this the most complex system in the universe works? And that's human body. By communicating between the cells, which is the central nervous system of your body, in your brain, it clicks and it says, okay, I want to move this finger up, and now I want to move this finger back down. Okay, for example, I want some of them are voluntarily. I mean, you are in control of that movement, and some of them are involuntarily, thanks to our anatomy. We don't need to remember to breathe, but those muscles are contracting, and these are how we breathe, how our heart beats. Our heart is all made of muscle, but it's a different type of tissue. Okay, so your whole body is a muscle. My tongue talking is a muscle that it moves and talk and make a voice. So building muscle, we're talking about a whole system. Where we want to build muscle. Can I just do bicep curls and just build muscle in my biceps and just concentrate on this side? No, you might do a bicep curl and you're still building muscle in your little toe here. Okay, so again, you're gonna see a lot of my foot today, just to give everyone a little bit of heads up. Sorry, but you might have to see a lot of my leg and my foot, just to explain how things work. Okay, so this is how we got sorry, I think I was getting a little bit drifted away from the point.
Of course. So let's stick with. Hold on a second. Hold on. I want to discuss why do we want to build muscles. So let's not get too much into other details and stick with why it's important for us muscles.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. The importance of muscles is that because you have to build muscle because your whole body is made out of muscles and muscle tissues. So you want to keep that going, especially for, I know your audience, which are a lot of females. You got a lot of females in your audience. They are in a certain age. You got certain, you know, I know you got from kids to grown up, but they are mainly a certain age. And they have a lot of information in their body. So what I want to say is build muscle is so important because every joint in your body is connected to this muscle tissue that you have to move in order to keep healthy in life. And when you hit certain age, if you are not active, your body starts losing muscles. We call this like they call this sarcopenia, which is losing muscle mass after, especially around 50 starts. That means your muscles get smaller and smaller and smaller until you can't use them anymore. And you got osteoporosis, which is pucchiostophan. That means you're losing bone density. So your bones, just like cheese when you eat, and when a mouse eats inside a cheese, you will get a lot of holes in your bones, so they become very easy to get fractured and they break. That's why we hit osteoporosis. And if I tell you by building muscles and exercising and moving more than anything else, you can prevent all of this. You can prevent all of this. I have not lied to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So basically what we're saying is after age 30, every year after, we are losing about a pound of muscle, and that replaces itself with fat. So the most important thing we need to be aware of is the muscle is actually the furnace of our metabolism. Therefore, the more muscle mass that I have, it's easier. My body becomes like a fat burning machines. So let's say, for instance, I give you guys an example to understand that. Like I said, when I was about in my 20s, early 20s, I was doing a lot of aerobics. So I was under an assumption that if I want to be fit and slim, I have to be doing a lot of aerobics, right? But later on, when I start changing my routines from doing a lot of daily aerobics to building muscles and building weight and using heavy machinery or dumbbells or barbells and even using my own body as a weight, I started to gain a lot of muscle mass. So when I gained a lot of muscle mass, when I weighed myself, I gained about totally, maybe in 2 years, I gained about 5 kilos on the scale. But everyone who would see me, they would say, oh my God, you lost so much weight. But actually on the scale, I was about 5 kilos more, right? So muscle, although muscle is much heavier, is twice as fat or even more, but it takes much less space, right? So if you and I want to lose a lot of fat, then we have to build muscle, because muscles burn fat 24 hours. So this is from the old time when I was studying to become a personal trainer. At those times, we used to do like a lot of machines. Then later on, I realized that working with a lot of machines create a lot of bulks that women not necessarily like it. So I start moving more towards free weights, like dumbbells or barbells and all this stuff. So basically, when we do that, remember, when we doing aerobics, you can do a dance class, you can do kickboxing, you can swim or whatever. Your metabolism would raise a little bit, and then it would stay up for about maybe 5 to 6 hours. But when you build muscles, your muscle will break down first, and then it would take a lot of energy to rebuild the muscle denser and heavier. That's why we burn muscle 24 hours. So the more muscle mass that I have, the more fat I'm burning. Whether I'm sitting down, whether I'm laying down, whether I'm sleeping, I'm losing more body fat because my metabolism is higher. And to hold and keep the muscles, that takes a lot of energy just to be able to hold that amount of muscle. Okay, so that's one of the reasons I always pushed everybody to start building muscles and to understand that as we age, we start losing muscles every year. And if we don't work out with weights and build muscles, our body fat is going to start rising up. Okay, what do you want to add to that, Dave?
Well, you said it almost perfectly. Just the only thing I've got to add to this is, as you age, it's not I just wanted to add this, like a little bracket. It's not your age or your genetics or, I don't know, your neighbors or anything else that makes you less active, or making you lose muscles, or making your joint hurt, or making your flexibility less than before. It's your shift movement, sorry to put there, that makes that happen. It does not have anything to do with age. It does not have anything to do. I can show you a 70 years old that can do a split, and they can do 100 pull-ups on the bar. I can show you 80 years old that run faster than most of 30 years old nowadays. Okay, so that your movement, the how you use your body, how you moving, how you use your joints, is indicating how your body is going to be next week, next month, next year, and next couple of years, or until we all die. Okay, so if you teach this body to move, to build muscle, to be active, it will learn to be active. If you teach your body to sit on your ass for all day, it will learn how to make you sit on your ass all day. Okay, so it is a simple fact. I'm not talking rocket science. I'm not talking a different alien language. I know it's not Persian, it's not Farsi. And همه اینجا فارسی صحبت میکنن. We got everyone speaking Persian, but I'm talking something that everyone could understand. If they don't use it, you're gonna lose it. But the good thing about it is, when you get back, when you work on your body, you can restore some of that movement, some of that muscles, and hope that is not too late. But somehow, somewhere in the way, it will be too late to do certain movements. It will be too late for your joints to do a backflip if you're 35. But if you've done that for years, yes, you can do that again. So the only thing I've got to add to this is, I just wanted to add this. Anyone who brings me an excuse of, oh, it's my age, I just say bullshit straight away. I said, you're just making up excuses. You're just making up excuses not to move, just to be lazy and sit on your ass. And if you say, no, I don't want to move, I said, these are all to me is bullshit. Okay. The age does not make age does not indicate your health. If it makes sense.
Yeah. So Dave, let's keep it because we're uploading on YouTube. Let's keep it language friendly. There are some of the stuff that we don't use. Sometimes I can't help it. Sorry, Sudija. This is how I even talk to my students. I'll go fully on it because sometimes people need to know how serious something is. Again, when I started doing this, I started teaching people how to move, I started doing this all exercises. Most thing that hurt me more than anything else was how much I care about someone's body and they do not care, and literally they don't give a flying about their body and about their health and about their joints. So sometimes someone needs a little bit of talangor and a flick. Wake up. If you don't do it, you're gonna die on a bed with horizontal without being able to move. And I'm serious about it. And I'm deadly serious about it. If you don't do it anytime soon, you're gonna have all the diseases coming your way. Your immune system, there is a coronavirus, there is a virus all over the place. Everything else is connected to that body and how you use it. And if you don't, you are going to regret this when you are on the bed and you are horizontal, just like that. You can't even move your leg. Feeling yes. I don't know if it makes sense or not. So sometimes I just maybe I get a bit overexcited over something, but this is a serious matter of life. There are a lot of people dying of sitting is more than cancer. People who die because of sitting and not moving and obesity, which is being overweight, are killing more people than cancer and any other causes in on the planet caused by obesity. Okay, so as much as I would like to be soft, and yes, please do move, do what you need to do. I can fix everything for you. No, sorry, I know there is a webinar coming up. I can only show you what to do. I can only show you the way you have to put the work in. This all means nothing. None of these means nothing if you don't move, if you don't use your body. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out. I'm not a magician, and I can't make magic happen. You have to put efforts consistently for years. I'm not talking about a month, a year. I'm talking about years of practicing and teaching your body how to move, how to use each muscle to move each joint. Work on the mobility. Take the time to do that. Sorry, I had to say that. Get it out of my chest. I hope no one gets a little bit offended or anything, but this is serious stuff. I'm sorry. No, I'm just saying, Dave, for the YouTube, let's keep it. We have some kids. We have some young kids, so let's keep it. When you work individually, it's a different matters. But now we're with the mass people, and so, anyways. So basically, what
do a little beep on it.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, no, as we age, our body deteriorates, and we know that as we age, our hormones drops. Testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, the hormone drops, and the most important hormone, which is growth hormone, also drops. Therefore, our body starts to deteriorate itself. But what you're saying is, you can reverse your age or don't allow your body to age if you're having a healthy lifestyle and you're consistent with doing a workout and exercise and being active. So basically, that's what it is. Yes, you're absolutely right. If I work out every day and take this seriously, day after day, year after, because everything adds up together. When I work out 3 days a week, 5 days a week, it keeps adding up. So I can become 80 years old, but since I have trained my body all of my life, I have been active, I've been eating healthy, I've been getting enough sleep, then I can fight that deterioration of the body as the age comes up. So basically, that's what you're saying. That's a great point that that gets us and keep us motivated. Okay, we age every year that passes by, things changes. I mean, there are some things that we cannot fight. I mean, as I'm aging, the amount of growth hormone is dropping, my hormones are changing. Even though I was an athlete all of my life, but that doesn't mean that I don't reach menopause. Maybe I can delay the menopause, but I still start getting wrinkles. My face, my skin is not the skin that I had in my 20s or 30. Although I'm healthy, I'm eating healthy food. I can delay that, but I cannot totally stop that. As you see, many times we see women who are in their 70s or 80s, they've been active all of their lives, they have an amazing body, but still you look at their face, you see that it's like, it's a really old age is showing up on their hands and on their necks and so forth. Okay, so basically what we're saying today is why it is so important that we build muscles, because that's going to be our guarantees for having a good posture, to have, when we build a lot of muscles, we're able to eat more. We can consume more calories per day. Why? Because the fat is not doing anything. Our fat is just sitting there. But when we build muscles, the muscles is burning a lot of calories, even to keep that amount of muscles. Therefore, I can eat more and I can binge more and I can even eat my cake and chocolate once in a while, but it's not going to affect me as much as it does when I don't have enough muscle mass. Okay, so I think we got that out of the way, Dave. So let's get into, let's get in now to for the beginners, because a lot of people who are here, they heard the benefits of why it's so great to build muscles, but now I'm a beginner and I want to start. What would be my routine? Where do I pick up?
Okay. I might disappoint a lot of people now,
okay,
especially you, but there is no such a thing as one program fits all. I have not seen that person who has asked the question now, okay, or whoever is asking that, oh, they want to build muscle, I want to get fit, I want to stay healthy. I have not seen them. I have not seen how they move. I have not tested their joints. I have no idea what works in their body, what not. I don't know their age. I don't know their sex. I don't know their lifestyle. I don't know if they've trained in their life or not. I don't know anything about their history, and I don't know anything else. So before I make any comments, anything comes out of my mouth right now is out of my ignorance, because I have no clue what that personal thing is, and human body is a subjective method. It's something that is personalized. Building muscle also is something that is very, very personal and subjective. As you probably know, there are so many type of different type of body, mesomorph, endomorph, ectomorph, all of that. We don't want to bore anyone with all of that because it's so much. Iranian especially were into it and they talked about it so much that we don't need to go and touch on that subject. But our body works differently. I don't know whose body is doing what until I do that test and find out a little bit about their body and how they're keeping fit. But I can tell everyone one thing that I think everyone should be doing for now. And I don't know if they want to contact me personally or contact you personally, they can't do that and ask me, I can help them a little bit, you know. And I'm first, I'm not going to charge anyone for now. Just want to help them and I want to see and give them a little bit of, because I've got a lot of free time, I can give them a bit of feedback if they contact me. So one thing that everyone can do right now, if you want to build muscle, I'm just going to turn this camera so you can see more of my feet. Again, David's feet, again. Okay, so what I've got here, as you can, I don't know if you can see that. I might be able to see that here. And if it turns, okay. So this is what I've got. There is my feet, right? Okay. So what I'm trying to do before I do anything, before I tell anyone anything to do, I want you to try this at home. I want you to try to push this leg down, push this feet. So your tibia, I want everything to stay in the same line. So your ankle stays the same, and like your femur and your tibia, I want them at the same place. And I want you to try and push on the floor and push the big toe down on the floor as you're pushing the big toe and the big one and the rest of the fingers up. I want you to just try and lift the big toe up, hold for 5 seconds, build it back down, and lift the other fingers up as much as you're pushing the heel back and down. You do this, and I can guarantee you in 99% of the time, either your hands are cramping or your knee comes in, and if I tell you to lift your toe up, you move your knee to the side and back. So what I want you to do is to focus on this movement, only this, and making the big toe up, and then the rest of the fingers down, and then try to push and lift the big toe up here, okay? If you do that, and then you're not shifting, I'm working on this. I'm doing this every day. I spend day, it hasn't been long, but this is what I'm doing every day, more than lifting anything. More than lifting anything, I'm trying to get this done. Okay, so just try that and push back. Well, if it's not working, if you're trying and you see, oh no, I have no control over my toes, I have no control over any of these, you can get help from your finger and hold them down with the finger and then try it up. Do this. Start with that simplest thing. A 90 years old and a 5 years old should be able to do this, okay? It does not matter what your age is and what you're doing. So this is what you need to do, okay? Again, you can try it on the other leg. Do 5, breathe, up, grabbing the floor with this toe, trying not to move the tibials. Feet down, and then the rest up. When you've done that, and you mastered that, I want you to put your big toe down and then try to go one finger, a small finger, and then the other one, and go one at a time on the floor. So toe up, and then we take this 1, 2, and 3. What I'm doing here, before I tell you to lift and touch any weight, before I tell you to go do hundreds of squats, do 200, like this is something, so for me, it's so, how do I put it there that it doesn't offend anyone? I don't know, so I'm not going to put it there. It's so stereotypical of doing 50 squats, hundreds of this, hundreds of that, when you're missing a simple function of each joint in your body, what your muscle is trying to do with your body. You have kids in your house. If you have kids in the house, just now, go and look at their feet. If they are 2-3 months, okay, or sorry, 6 months, 7 months after they got a little bit of power, you can put your finger on there, and they will move every single finger on their toe, and they grab your finger with their toe, just like that. And what happens is we grow up and we lose all of these movements because we're just too lazy, or our job requires us to sit on the chair, on the computer. You get up, go home, sit, TV. Okay, now it's time for a workout. I'm gonna go and do hundreds of these squats with this motion. Am I gonna build muscle? No. I'm messing up my whole system that has been spending all of its time being like this in a 90-degree sitting. And now what I require from my muscles is to, now I want you to do squats. First thing that the muscle do is like, no. Your body is going to go, no, I haven't done this. I don't want to do this. I'm sorry for yoga fans and whoever is a big fan of yoga. That is my issue with yoga. That is my problem with yoga. I might get a lot of hate or people saying, oh, you don't know what is the good thing about yoga. You don't know anything about yoga. You need to go. Okay, all of that. I'm not saying yoga is bad. I am not implying that. But this is my problem with yoga and whoever goes there. You sit on your ass all day, and then what you're trying to do, once a week on a Thursday, I've got yoga class. What I've done rest of my time has been sitting. And now I want you to go up, do this, turn around, or bring your leg forward with your heels down and reach to this posture. Or I want you to go do a pigeon, leave up and try to reach down. Everyone follow. This is how you're gonna hurt your joint. This is what your nervous system is gonna say, no, I have not done this. My joints are not ready for this. Why? What are you doing to me? Okay? So instead of going to random places, random classes, random squats and jumps, first, if you want to build muscle, if you want to build control, you have to build control of that range of motion of that joint. Okay? So if I don't have enough motion in my feet to go up and down and apply force to the floor with my feet, with having my toe down and grabbing the floor, there is no point of me doing the squat because that's going to hurt me somehow. It's going to hurt me somehow because this is not in my system. My system of body has got used to sitting on the chair and do this, get up, sitting on my ass, watch TV. Okay? So that's not going to work for me. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hurt it. Not tomorrow, not next week, next year, year after, somewhere down the middle is going to catch you up and you'll be like, I hurt my knee yesterday in the gym. No, my dear, you hurt your gym 2 years ago when you started loading that bad pattern. When you started loading and your body started compensating. So if I'm not grabbing the floor with this, so what happens? My knee comes in, and if I do a squat in this position, and this is, I'm pretty sure this is the case with everyone here, almost everyone. When they go down, either the knee come in or they go down and this knee comes in and they toe get turned out. This is what's going to happen if they do a squat. Why? Mainly, either they have a foot problem, they have knee issue, or there is something going on in their hip. But I wouldn't know any of that. I can't test you. I can't tell you what's going wrong with your body if you don't fix your feet. Because no matter what happens here, if your feet, which is the base of your body, which is the base of your standing, is not working properly, and that has a system to work and grab the floor and stabilize, what's going to happen to you? somewhere down, up, right in the middle, and the system is going to compensate. And you keep loading that pattern. Your body learns how to do this movement wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong. In 2 years, bam, I dislocated my joint. I've got knee pain. I'm going to gym every time. I go to gym 5 days a week. Why my knees are hurting? I'm not surprised, my dear. I am not surprised why your knee should not hurt. You know, if your knee don't get hurt, I'll be surprised. Again, I hope I'm not speaking a foreign language, and I hope I say something that makes sense to everyone.
No, Dave, we got it. We got it.
You got it? Okay, cool, yeah. Cool. So before I keep going on and on, you better take over because I can talk for days.
Okay, good. So basically, what you're saying is we want to learn to know the basics and how to do our exercise effectively, efficiently, without hurting ourselves. So we've seen this at the gym when people are, so many people, they get hurt. They pull something, they tear a muscle. So when we know
I did all of those. I was in agony with my knee for such a long time. I've been 12 years, 13, 14 years, even more that I've been practicing. Sorry if I jumped in. And my shoulder, just wanted to say, I could not squat down without wrapping my knee up 200 times. Or do a shoulder press without hurting my shoulder. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to push through that. It's fine. I'm just going to go through it. I don't mind. That's okay. Yeah, sorry. Carry on.
So knowing anatomy is one thing, but if we don't know that, because most of us, we don't. That's why it's great to work with a trainer that's going to show you the basics, and they're going to tell you what is the correct way of doing it. For instance, all of those exercise DVDs that I have, in every single one and repeatedly in the middle of exercise, I keep saying, watch for your knees, that you should never, you have to be always very soft on your knees. You should not stand up suddenly and lock your knees, because that's going to hurt your joint and you're going to end up having knee joint problems. So you have to, when you're doing a squat, or many things, squat, lunges, you come down, but you always keep the good form in mind, that how far can you come down, and as you coming up, you don't lock your knees. You just come enough to get the benefit of the exercise without locking your knees, and then you go back down. So good form, it's very important and it's crucial. But also, we can go against yoga. That's a personal opinion, because real yoga, it's very concentrated in every muscles and joint and all of that. Yoga is, I mean, we have amazing, I have many great, amazing yoga teachers that are really good, and they're, I was actually, I did a live with another guy who teaches yoga. David, be mindful when you're moving, the mic is picking up your movement. We have some noises. Thank you, love. So I was telling him, I said, because I
quite dynamic.
Training aerobically for many years, and then I started getting into weightlifting for many years, until I tried yoga a couple of times with a good yoga teacher. I didn't know that I really built my outer shelf, but I didn't build my inner shelf, which is working on every joints and muscles and fibers, everything from within. And I was really shaking because I didn't have the concentration. So it's actually great if we try different things. Like we can do weightlifting, and also we can do yoga, we can also do Tai Chi, we can do different exercises for our body and our muscles to learn and feel the differences. So now basically what I can add up to that, for beginners who want to start lifting weight, it's true that we have to know your condition, we have to know if you have been injured before, we have to know how fit you are and all that. But considering that, the very basic that I'm just generalizing it is that you start with lower weight. I mean, for kids, for young kids, you can start with 2 bottles of water, very light. And then eventually you start, as your body, with our body, it's so intelligent, picks that up very quickly and adopt itself to that weight. And then you can move up to 2 pounds. And then eventually your body gets used to that. You raise it up to 3 and then continue doing that. Now, remember that muscles has memory. So for instance, if I work out, I train my muscles for a couple of years and then don't do any exercises for maybe 2 years or 3 years, because muscles has memory. As soon as I start lifting up the weight, my muscle would remember that. So this is the difference. For someone who's starting, the body has to get adopted and start to collect those memories until it becomes the norm for it. But for those people who have worked out and they said, oh, I left it, I haven't been working out for 2 years or 3 years, that shouldn't be discouraging. You should actually be very happy knowing that your muscles remembers your workout and your routine, even the amount of workload that you give it to your muscle. So your muscle right away, it will picks it up. But so we're starting from small, and then as day goes by, we keep adding a little bit and a little bit more, and then a little bit more and a little bit more. And eventually you would see that, wow, you look back, you see that, oh, 2 months ago, I was really struggling with 3-pound weights, but now 3 months later, I'm picking up 8 pounds very easily. So the body, remember, adapts to the pressure and the amount of workload that you give it. If your body is trained aerobically, it depends on your muscle fiber, because I think I hit on this in our previous live, that some people have more aerobic fibers. They're much better doing aerobics, and some people are better and have more like weight muscles, or they're much better at bodybuilding. But that shouldn't encourage anybody. That just means if my body has more aerobic fibers, it's going to take much longer for me to build muscles, rather than someone who has much more weightlifting muscles. So that person can do a couple of biceps, and in a week or 2, his biceps will pump up. But somebody who has more aerobic fibers, is going to take them longer. But by being consistent and being patient, we can do that. Okay, back to you, Dave. Do you have something to add? We got 5 minutes to go.
Just wanted to add, just wanted to revisit the yoga thing again. I don't want anyone taking this out of context that Dave said yoga is bad. I did not say yoga is bad.
No, we understood
I said,
that. We got it.
Yeah, I did not say yoga is bad. I said if you sit on your ass 7 days a week and then decided to do yoga Thursday, that's going to hurt you. That's what I'm saying. But if you have moved all week, you've done your exercises, you have accessed the range of motion of the joint that you've got, crack on. If you've got a good yoga instructor, he or she will know what to do with you. Okay? So just to revisit on that, again, I explained, I tried to get this as simple as I could for everyone to understand my point about moving and moving the joint. Okay, so again, if you want to lift weight, if you decided that you want to lift a dumbbell or I don't know, a 40 kg dumbbell or do a bodyweight squat, I want people to understand and be aware of how are they doing that movement. I do not care what weight you're carrying. As I said, I can't tell you something to do as simple as just moving your wrist up and moving your wrist down. And that will trigger your muscles more than anything, that any weight you carry, any hundreds of the squat that you do, that's more beneficial to your body than anything else. Okay? So instead of thinking about what fancy program do I need? What do I need to get to move? What diet I have to go? What kind of what things are? But take the first step. First step is to start doing a micro movement, just as I said with your feet, just doing a small movements and then trying to build up on the joints. Okay, so my advice to whoever is actually active and they are lifting, they are doing a lot of movements, but they want to get better, they want to understand about their body, is to stop whatever you're doing. If you're feeling pain, if you don't have enough mobility, if you don't have any access to those range of motions, stop doing whatever you're doing and just revisit your movement patterns in your body and understand how every joint works in your active range of motion. I'm not talking about this stretch, okay, because you don't have access to that. I'm talking about active range of motion. And sorry if I drag on for too long. As I said, I can talk for days. I can talk for hours, especially about the squat, like just teaching the form of the squat. I can talk about days. Talk about it for days and how to do a squat. But before I even get to this squat, you need to sort out your feet. So work on your feet.
Dave. Thank you. So guys, before we close, I want to add up a couple of things. Number one, remember, your mind is the most important thing. What I'm trying to tell you right now is that when you exercise or when you lift weights, a huge part of it comes from your mind. If you imagine when you're working out, you're looking at yourself in the mirror, don't see your own body. We know about the power of imagination by now, okay? So when you're doing a lift or when you're pulling, doing shoulders, doesn't matter what part you're doing, as you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you want to see the perfect body, the amount of muscles, your stomach, your abs, how cut you are, how lean you are, how much muscles you have. You want to have that picture, reverse that picture, the picture that you're seeing in the mirror, that you already have and achieved that. The second part is when we lift weights, we can always, in our mind, make that weight much heavier. For instance, years of doing those DVDs that I did, I keep mentioning that when you lifted 3 pounds, let's say you injured your wrist and you can't lift a heavier weight, but still when you're lifting a 3 pounds dumbbell, in your mind, you can imagine that as being 8 pounds or 10 pounds. And as you concentrating and bringing your biceps up in your imagination, imagine that your biceps is coming up. This weight is really heavy. You're not doing anything with your wrist, but you're doing it in your mind. So as we already know, the mind doesn't know the difference between something that's real and something that's unreal. So use your mind as you're training, make that weight much heavier. And in weightlifting is always concentration, concentration, concentration. It's not about how many reps you do. It's all about how well and how concentrated you are while you're lifting that weight. Okay? And also remember, guys, it's if we want to build a lot of muscles, we need to take a lot of amino acid. Amino acid is what really builds muscles. And if you guys are vegetarian or vegan or whatever, you got to make sure that your combination of food, it's somehow that it will give you the branch chain of amino acid, which is 25 chain of different amino acids. So you need protein, you need to cut off sugar all the way. And we're going to get more into details of how next week on how to not only burn more calories and fat while you're building a lot of muscles, but how to double and triple that and how to keep it and maintain that. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks, Dave. We'll see
Thanks,
you
Sudi,
guys
again.
Saturday.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, bye, love.
Thanks.
Bye.